Justice Brett Kavanaugh wrapping up his second week of oral arguments, settling into his role on the nation's highest courts. We take you inside the marbled walls for a look at a unique job and how his colleagues are treating the newcomer.
I will always be a team player on the team of 9.
Newly minted Justice Brett Kavanaugh thanking the president, the nation, and his 8 new colleagues, all seated near him in a show of support. Just a day later, he was mixing it up on the bench in his first oral arguments, chatting with his new neighbor and old friend, Justice Elena Kagan.
And I think she was making a sort of public show of, he was part of what he would call the team of 9, and he was one of them. And right after the arguments ended, that first day, she gave him a big handshake.
Sources say the 114th justice is fitting in well with the hectic pace and unusual rhythms of the nation's highest court. Warmly embraced by his colleagues, no questions asked, and comfortable enough to crack a sly joke in only his second day of arguments.
I actually do think, on reflection, that manufacturer needs to warn about that, right?
So you just changed the answer?
I did.
Okay,
so,
just making sure.
Absolutely.
Just a day after being officially sworn in an otherwise empty court building, Kavanaugh met on a Sunday with his new law clerks to go over the looming caseload. Sources say he admitted privately to needing a lot of help. After those first few hectic days, he settled into his new chambers with lots of pictures of his 2 daughters gracing the walls, along with sports memorabilia for this rabid baseball fan. He's hired staff, including 4 law clerks, all female, a court first. As the new guy on the bench, Kavanaugh keeps it simple, asking short, textual questions in the public sessions, deferring to his colleagues and avoiding soliloquies or harsh rhetoric. And after barely surviving Senate scrutiny over allegations of sexual misconduct, Kavanaugh is back wearing his familiar robe.
The nice thing that I've seen over the last 2 or 3 weeks is really him transitioning back into the role that he's most comfortable in, which is as a judge and now as a justice.
And by the way, there's some unique things that the newest justice has to do, meaning now Justice Kavanaugh. One of the things is they have to serve on the cafeteria committee. Justice Kagan has become very famous over the court because during her time in the committee, she makes sure that they added a frozen yogurt machine to the lunchroom there over at Supreme Court. It's self-serve, and you get to put on your own toppings, so I give her a total thumbs up for that. But also the newest justice has to be the one that sits in the by the door when they have these private conferences and votes. They have to vote last, and they have to answer the door no matter who knocks. So we'll see. Justice Neil Gorsuch only got to do it for a year. We'll see how long Brett Kavanaugh does it this time around.